At midfield, number 3, Natalie Berzera. At defense, number 5, Sky Sykes. At defense, number 6, Isabel Scott. At forward, number 7, Layla Locklear. At forward, number 10, Giselle Ramos Alvera. At forward, number 11, Darylyn Nieto. At defense, number 12, Jasmine Solorzano. At defense, number 16, Maribeth Huffman. At defense, number 17, Serenity Powell. And in goal, number 20, Maria Sanchez. The Spirits are coached by Robin Ramirez and assisted by Gina Ryan. And now, starting for your Knights. At defense, number 4, Haley Bragg. At defense, number 5, Paige Barbados. At midfield, number 6, Claire Stevens. At forward, number 7, Mattia Murray. At defense, number 9, Ella Thomas. At midfield, number 17, Mabel Harris. At midfield, number 19, McKenna Winterton. At midfield, number 25, Ellie Owen. At defense, number 28, Annalise Huber. And in goal for the Knights, number 00, Katrina Gardner. The Knights are coached by Rob Dahl, assisted by Eric Dahl, Shelby Pulliam, and Jaden Solis. Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem. Thank you, and good luck to both sides.
Hello and happy Halloween to all of our friends tuning in tonight. It's conference tournament week around the country for NCAA women's soccer, and things are no different this evening at Knight Stadium as your Southern Virginia University Knights play host to the visiting Salem College Spirits in the first round of the USA South Women's Soccer Tournament. We hope you'll sit back and enjoy this one on another edition of Knights Broadcasting. My name is Quinn Meyer, and alongside me today is Tyler Wright. So, Tyler, the Knights were on full attack mode to claim their first regular season crown and the number 1 seed, scoring 33 goals in conference play and only conceding 1. But tonight they face off against one of the best attackers in the conference, Darylyn Nieto, and the rest of her squad. What are some of the keys to victory, you think, for both teams heading into this one?
So going into this matchup, the Knights, as you said, scoring 33 goals versus only conceding 1 goal in conference play. Talking to Coach Dahl before the game, we were talking with him, and he talked about just scoring early and applying pressure to them because talking about Darylyn Nieto, she, like I said, leads the conference with 16 goals. So Coach Dahl was saying that with a team like that, with a player like that, they can beat anyone on any week. if they heat up at the right moment. So just scoring fast and putting pressure on them offensively, not giving them the chance to go downfield and score. And for the Salem Spirits, just, staying in the game, not giving up, just being able to work together as a team, that communication, teamwork. Talking to the Salem's coach before, and that's just it, just working as a team, because like he said, this is a good team. They're the #1 seeded team in the tournament for a reason, but as long as they work as a team, they know that they can pull through this.
So both teams begin the difficult road tonight to their first ever conference championship. Obviously, Southern Virginia becoming members of the USA South Conference just a couple of years ago. They were runner-ups last year to conference champion Methodist rather. And Salem also looking to earn their first conference championship crown. Salem will get us started here early on. McKenna Winterton now in control. She's pressured by a couple of Spirits. And Mabel Harris will turn it back to Ella Thomas.
We talk a lot about Darylyn Nieto going into this game with her 16 goals. McKenna Winterton also a player to look out for on the night squad, number 19. She leads the team with 13 goals.
13 goals for Winterton on the year, 11 of those being in conference play, so she's really been able to turn things up a notch playing her USA South opponents. On the near side at Salem with it, but a good defensive play. Looked like that was Ellie Owen in the middle of the field. And the Knights are going to force a turnover and have their first throw-in of the game. Looks like Claire Stevens is going to take this one for the Knights. Looking for Owen inside. It got deflected by a Spirit. Then sent back towards the middle for McKenna Winterton, who volleys that one and strikes it towards the goal, but it's wide left. And Salem will have a goal kick after that.
Already the Knights sticking to their game plan, just pressuring Salem off the bat. Where you have a shot.
And that certainly is Southern Virginia's game plan, as Tyler mentioned before. Rob Dahl wanting to get out of the gates quickly and pressure Salem into conceding that all-important first goal. That was Maribeth Huffman on the throw, and they'll turn it over. Natalie Blazer was looking for Mattia Murray, but too far in front of her. And Huffman will throw in yet again. She opted for Taylor Gable, but they turn it over, and it's Natalie Blazer here on the near side, bottom left of your screen. Tries to go all the way around, but then encounters another Spirit defender, and they will just clear it out. But I think a penalty was called against Natalie Blazer. And so she'll help set up the first free kick of the evening for the Knights. Salem setting up a three-person wall being walked out by the official. Claire Stevens will take this on the near side. Lopping that one into the far side of the box, headed out by the Spirits. Up for grabs, still bouncing at the top of the box, and then Paige Varvarigos is going to send that one wide left of the goal as Sanchez calmly lets that one bounce out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for her.
Good choice by Stevens there to try to kick it to their teammates to try to knock it in. Kind of a weird angle, but fortunately for the Salem Spirits, they were able to have a player get a foot on it and able to kick it out there.
Already lots of offensive pressure by Southern Virginia. Salem's going to have to play pretty tight defensively to stave off this Knights attack, as Ellie Owen will reset for Annalise Huber. Key part of this impressive Knights defense that has only conceded one goal during the entirety of conference play this season. That pass was a little bit too far for Mabel Harris, and it'll be another goal kick for Maria Sanchez. She's going to opt close. That one again is rejected by Claire Stevens, as Salem really struggling to get it out of harm's way. This one's cleared back towards the middle. Winterton fans on it. That gives Salem an opportunity to clear, but again goes out of bounds. And it looks like the ball's really just being pinned in there not more than 30 yards outside the Spirits net.
For the Spirits to be backed up against their own goal, you know, they're doing a good job of kind of holding off the Knights' offense.
Seems like so far a similar theme to the matchup between these two teams earlier in the year, where Southern Virginia took that one 5-0. Salem was playing a player down that evening due to injury, which really didn't allow them to free up their strong attackers in the middle of the field for any shots. They're going to try and turn the page on that one, though, and get something going here. That's Ella Thomas to throw in again for Southern Virginia. She's engaged by Darla Nieto. As we mentioned, 16 goals during the regular season, of 7 of those coming in conference play. 3 hat tricks to her name on the season. Very dangerous attacker in her own right. This is McKenna Winterton. Looking to find the angle, sends it into the box. It goes. Mabel Harris fans on Natalie Blazer now. Save made by Sanchez.
That was dangerous for Sanchez right there. You know, Natalie Blazer got that foot on it. She was on the ground, but she was able to reach for the ball and grab it. That is very lucky. That's a great play by Sanchez right there. That could have been bad.
And speaking of Sanchez, we talked a little bit before, Tyler, about the strong goalkeeping play of Salem this year. 2 separate keepers, Sanchez and Dutrich, able to break the program record in saves in a single game twice this year. One of those being against Southern Virginia just about a month ago with 22. That was Marissa Dutrich in the net, but they're facing a different keeper in Maria Sanchez. So maybe a little bit of strategy to that by Salem to switch up keepers, because keepers often have different tendencies and try to throw Southern Virginia off guard a little bit. This is Salem throwing it in. Tia Murray is able to steal that one, but that'll be whistled down, and Salem will get their first free kick of the evening.
Number 17, Serena Powell, going to take this kick. About 10 yards out from her own goal.
This is stolen again, this time by Paige Varvarigos. She encounters about 4 Spirit defenders as they clear this all the way back towards Annalise Huber, who will reset for her defensive partner, Haley Gadd.
Nice defensive play by Salem College to kind of relieve some of the pressure that the defense has been facing so far.
Now Salem trying to turn with it in their defensive zone. Ella Thomas is able to apply pressure, but it does go out of bounds. Last off her, and another goal kick for Maria Sanchez. Second consecutive season that Salem has been able to clinch a berth in the USA South Conference Tournament. 6th appearance all time for them since joining the conference in 2016. Their best finish being a semifinal appearance in 2019 when they took down Piedmont in the quarterfinal. Good clean passes in their own zone as they try to get things past midfield. That pass is going to be a little bit too far for Layla Locklear, the senior from Pembroke, North Carolina. That's Mabel Harris winning the battle for that one. She's going to cut back towards the middle. Someone towards the goal, off the hands of Sanchez. And luckily for her, goes wide right of the post, but it will be a corner, the first on the evening for Southern Virginia.
Thomas in the corner, going to take this kick for the Knights.
She's going to loft this one high into the middle of the box. It goes, and Sanchez out there to grab it smartly. She's going to lead Nieto as they're going to try and get a counterattack going, but a good defensive play by Huber. She's decked just about 20 yards outside the goal. And there will be a whistle, as I think they're going to get number 5, Sky Sykes. No, it will be against Southern Virginia, rather. Not sure if they got Huber maybe playing on the ground, but it'll be a free kick for Salem College. This is Locklear again, trying to chip that one down towards the middle of the field. Rejected again by Paige Varvarigos. Now the Knights back on the attack. Natalie Blazer, lots of speed down the far side. And the angle's going to be cut off by Salem smartly. And that will result in a goal kick for Sanchez again. This matchup also features a couple of USA South Women's Soccer Athletes of the Week, Darylyn Nieto being a recipient of that once, then obviously McKenna Winterton, who we've mentioned a lot, winning that honor 3 times throughout the regular season. But again, for the Southern Virginia squad, lots of depth, and Coach Rob Dahl certainly likes to use that depth and go deep into his bench. This is Claire Stevens, opts to reset for Annalise Huber on the defensive side, and they'll switch fields. Nice little move by Mabel Harris to free up some space for Ella Thomas. This is Ellie Owen now being pursued by number 17, Serenity Powell. Claire Stevens is looking for a through ball for Annalise Huber, but it goes past her out of bounds, and Salem will throw in. So, Tyler, we've talked a lot about the offensive threats of Southern Virginia, and you mentioned earlier that Coach Rob Dahl said that it's important for the Knights to get out of the gates early, because often as a really good offensive team, if you can't score quickly, you often get frustrated, which goes in favor of Salem in that situation.
Yeah, soccer and most sports in general, it's a game of momentum. Nice hit by Blazer.
Blazer strikes one towards the goal, gets saved by Sanchez.
But yeah, soccer especially is a game of momentum, constantly moving, and, the first goal is a very important stepping stone in a soccer game. That could set the tone for the entire game. So if Southern Virginia is able to knock one in quickly, or vice versa, if Salem is able to knock one in pretty quickly, you're always going to be spending the rest of the game trying to overcome that deficit. So Southern Virginia's game plan from the gates, like we've been saying, is just to score on them. And so far, Salem's been doing a good job of kind of staving off this attack.
That's going to last bounce off of Mabel Harris. So good job again by the defender of Salem to cut off that angle and prevent any crosses from going towards Maria Sanchez. She will kick off and send it towards Serenity Powell again. Powell, a sophomore defender from Morganton, North Carolina. Out of East Burke High School, this is Mabel Harris striking one just to the right of the goal. Out of bounds, another goal kick. Coach Rob Dahl has also praised his midfielders throughout the year. Really happy with how they've locked down the middle of the field, and you can see that so far today, as Salem really hasn't been able to get anything past the midfield point.
Yeah, like you were mentioning earlier, there's just a lot of depth on this Knight team. A lot of great players. And, a lot of these players that we've been talking about, throughout the season, they just have so many. It's hard to name them all, but, for the Spirits, they have a lot of good players on their team too. Looking at their coach, Robin Ramirez, he's done a good job with this program so far. This is his, I believe, 3rd season at the helm, and he's kind of brought this program up. He's the 3rd head coach of Salem College in its history. It's a relatively newer program, and he's already combined, or he has more wins than the previous 2 coaches combined. So he's doing a good job with the Salem program. He was able to squeak in the tournament with a late win over NC Wesleyan.
Natty Blazer crossing over, looking for Mabel Harris. It goes past her, and Layla Locklear's in the area to try and clear it out of harm's way. And as Tyler mentioned, Salem able to clinch a berth in the conference tournament with a win last week against North Carolina Wesleyan. I believe Darylyn Nieto able to net a hat trick in that one to lead the Spirits to victory. Salem will throw in again on the far side, right in front of their bench. Ella Thomas is going to stop that one, look for the middle of the field. And this is Ellie Owen again, through ball looking for Mattia Murray. Now Claire Stevens, she'll cross one at the top of the box. Lots of contact there, and Salem will clean this one up and send it out of harm's way. So a couple of dangerous opportunities so far. There's a really nice move by Mabel Harris to free up some space for herself. She's going to try and cut back towards the middle and take a shot at the goal just left of the post. You could tell she really wanted that one. A nice looking strike, but just to the left side of the goal post. As Salem just barely able to stave that one off. And Maria Sanchez will get set to kick off. To add to some quality goal scoring, Salem has been a pretty stingy defensive team themselves. As here's another steal by Mattia Murray. Getting a through ball is Claire Stevens on the near side. She's going to pull up and opt back for Paige Varvarigos. She strikes one to the far side, bounces out of bounds. Mabel Harris was in the area, but it'll be another goal kick for Sanchez.
Sanchez being pretty busy tonight so far. Doing a great job.
Lots of pressure on Sky Sykes from Salem. Ellie Owen's going to get to that one and set up Annalise Huber. Lots of speed and strength down the middle she brings to this team. She's going to find Ella Thomas on the far side. Broken up nicely by Locklear. Lots of contact, and that's going to go last off Locklear. She sends it out of bounds, and Ella Thomas will opt to throw in quickly. Mabel Harris wins that battle. Nice little pass from McKenna Winterton, sends it towards the box. Good save by Sanchez. A rebound did pop out, but Salem's able to clear it in a corner for the Knights.
Corner number 3 of the day for the Knights, looking for that first goal of the game.
This is Ella Thomas again. A little bit outside this time. Winterton gets contact. Still up for grabs. Locklear going after it. Now they finally clear. Nieto, lots of speed trying to go after that one. She gets freed up. And the Knights are going to have to retreat back into their defensive zone against the speedy Nieto. She tries to size up Ella Thomas. She gets around her. She'll take a long shot towards the goal, and that is easily scooped up by Katrina Gardner.
What a play by Nieto right there. She just left the defenders in the dust. Definitely got the Jets on that.
First glimpse of the speed and skill from Darlene Nieto, their leading attacker on the season. This is Claire Stevens streaking down the near side, keeping it in bounds nicely. But they're going to say out of bounds, rather. A tough call to make as the ref is pretty far, but he did call it out of bounds, and Salem will be able to throw in. It's Mattia Murray with a box out of Maribeth Huffman. This is Natalie Blazer in control, slides to get to it. It's going to deflect off a Spirit. And Layla Locklear is able to clear out of bounds. Another throw-in for the Knights. Zella Thomas into the middle. But Isabel Scott able to gather, but another steal this time by Ellie Owen, who lets it rip over top of the crossbar out of bounds for a goal kick. So Tyler, we've seen a wide range of attacking opportunities for the Knights. We've seen crosses into the middle, that Sanchez has been able to snuff out, and we've seen some long-range strikes as well from the attackers of Southern Virginia so far.
Yeah, Southern Virginia just doing everything they can to, get some points on the board. And same thing with Salem there, taking every opportunity they can. We saw Nieto, taking that long shot. Both teams are eager to make their statements here tonight.
Tia Murray looking for McKenna Winterton. She has the angle, crosses. One hopper just past Blazer. And that's Isabel Scott able to clear it, but not far enough before the Knights get to it. Crossing right in front of Mattia Murray. Out of bounds it goes, though. So a couple of good opportunities as McKenna Winterton almost got loose in front of Sanchez, and then that clearance just goes past Mattia Murray.
Yeah, that was a perfect opportunity for the Knights to score right there. McKenna Winterton was able to set up Natalie Blazer almost perfectly for that kick, but the ball got away from her.
Solorzano lost that in her feet. Nice turn by Winterton. She's going to box out the defender, look for Natalie Blazer in the middle. She can't get to it, but now it's Ellie Owen and Haley Gadd in the middle of the field. Yet lots of speed again, able to get loose on the far side. She'll pull up. Faces a couple of Knight defenders. Nicely played by Ellie Owen. Murray's going to get to that one and reset for Ella Thomas. And Tyler, it seems like, the recipes for success offensively might be as Claire Stevens has some open space on the near side. Faces Huffman, sends it into the middle. This is Winterton. Nice cut towards the goal, strikes it, scores! McKenna Winterton gets things going just past the 20-minute mark of the first half. Knights lead 1-0.
Great shot by McKenna Winterton. Had a good angle. She had like 2 defenders on her, but still able to work her way and find the opening, and just had the perfect angle on the goalie.
As the ball seemed like it was being played on the far side for quite a while, and maybe Salem got a little bit complacent with it over there, as Claire Stevens found a lot of space here on the near side after they crossed field, and Winterton a nice cut to earn a good angle on the keeper, and she was able to send that one into the right side of the goal. 1-0 Knights lead.
McKenna Winterton now with 14 goals on the season, now including postseason.
So certainly the start that Coach Rob Dahl wants. This is Nieto trying to create some energy and space for Salem. Cleared in again by Isabel Scott, but it's going to go out of bounds. But something like this could be a good opportunity for Salem to press forward a little bit more and create some closer opportunities, as we saw Nieto have that good chance that she created with her speed. But still, she's about 35, 40 yards out from the goal. It's really tough to score from out there.
Meredith Huffman going to throw it in for the Spirits right here.
There's a good box out there by the Salem attacker. Now Isabel Scott's going to try and lead Layla Locklear. Just going to beat her to it is the out of bounds line, and the Knights will throw in. Salem going to steal it right back. Some good energy shown by Salem here to counter that Southern Virginia strike by McKenna Winterton. Says Ellie Owen in control. She'll turn to buy time and set up Ella Thomas. Winterton looking to lead either Murray or Harris. Lots of contact, but Winterton will be called for the penalty and a free kick for the Spirits.
Spirits having themselves a little nice offensive momentum here. Go past Laylock. We out of bounds.
Looks like pretty soon we're going to get our first batch of substitutions for the Knights. Again, Coach Rob Dahl going deep into that bench. Lots of depth on this Knights squad. Haley Gadd will take control of this, and Winterton one touches that to Ellie Owen. Looking for Mabel Harris on the far side. Now back in the middle, Blazer strikes it to the right of the post. And Sanchez will let that one go.
Excellent setup by the Knights there. Mabel Harris trying to set up the assist for Natalie Blazer. She just missed the goal, it looks like. The Knights are going to make some substitutions here.
So about 4 or 5 substitutions made. Again, Coach Stahl trying to keep those legs fresh. As we're going to see, looks like Tessa Miller's in there, number 21 on the near side.
Looks like you got number 14, Jane Peterson on the far side now. Number 20, number 11, Madison Solis and Gracie Duncan also in the game now for the Knights.
That pass by Thomas is rejected out of bounds by Locklear. Huber back in control, so up towards the middle for Madison Solis. Ella Thomas accepts that one, but it's going to curve out of bounds. Possession back towards the Spirits. Tessa Miller, a good freshman pickup for this Knights squad. She's had a pretty good into the season. A couple of goals in the back half of conference play. As this ball is going to be led on the far side, they're going to cross it inside looking for Winterton. Now Blazer gets to it, whacks at it, deflected off of a Spirit defender. And Annalise Huber all the way back from her defensive position to take a run at this one, until that bounces off the shins of Tessa Miller out of bounds. Possession back to Salem.
Looks like that was number 22, Audrey McKeon, also now in this game. She's a pretty good player for the Knights. I believe she leads the team in assists with 5. Integral part of this Knights offense.
Salem's going to turn that one over, and McKeon, right on cue, gets that one in the middle of the field. They'll go back to number 11, Madison Solis, being pursued by Nieto. Lots of speed and aggression from her. Good play by Nieto to almost force a turnover, and she will, as the flag is pointing in favor of Salem. And Tyler, comparing tonight to the last time these teams met up, looks like Salem might have made a little bit of an adjustment in the middle of the field, as they often had Nieto waiting around towards the midfield logo last game for any counterattacks, but this time she's playing a little bit more in the defensive zone and using that speed to cause turnovers, as she did just a minute ago. McKinnerton's volley bounces over the net out of bounds, where Sanchez can get things started again.
You said, kind of the last part of the first half, score's only 1-0, only down by 1. They definitely made some adjustments from last time they played, able to see what the Knights do, able to kind of work off of that. And, defensively, they've only given up 1 opportunity to score. So they made some good changes to their scheme coming here tonight in the conference play, or a conference tournament.
Stevens airs it out, looking for Winterton. A good defensive play by Salem to interrupt that one. Now Audrey McKeon looking for Winterton on the far side, but she is offside. The flag goes up, and that will result in a free kick for Salem. This one's going to be turned over by Salem, but then rejected again by a Salem defender. She encounters McKenna Winterton, but they do clear it out before Madison Solis will steal that one right back for the Knights. Pretty good weather tonight for conference tournament soccer. A little bit chilly if you're sitting in the stands, but for the players, I'm sure they warm up as this game goes on.
Good turnout by some of the Southern Virginia students here. Looks like I've got a few people on the visitor side coming for Salem. Got some people dressed up in Halloween costumes.
Salem trying to mount an attack. That one's rejected by Thomas out of bounds, and the Spirits will throw in again. This is Ramos to take it, but then that one goes out of bounds. And another turnover by Salem as Ella Thomas will now throw in.
Little scuffle there by Peterson and Locklear.
That one's going to bounce off the head of Jane Peterson, it looked like. It's bouncing around, a battle for possession. That's Taylor Gable getting to it. And then Serenity Powell just boots that one to the far side, right in front of the Knights coaches. Then cleared out by Locklear all the way back down for a goal kick for Katrina Gardner. We talked a little bit about the keepers for Salem earlier. Katrina Gardner also having a really solid season. 6 clean sheets in conference play, only conceding 1 goal, as we mentioned earlier. This one's a little bit too far for Tessa Miller. Right in front of the stands, and Beth Huffman will throw in for the Spirits. Knights enjoyed a relatively relaxed last week of play in the regular season, just facing off one team this past Saturday against Meredith. They took that one 4-0. Bailey Ricker, a freshman, broke the stalemate in the 43rd minute last Saturday, which ultimately would open the floodgates for Southern Virginia. As again, Katrina Gardner posted a clean sheet in that one. This one bounces out of bounds off of number 2, Taylor Gable, and McKenna Winterton on the rush. Lots of speed, encounters a couple of Spirits, will cross it into the arms of Sanchez, who will slow things down. Nieto attempts to box out Annalise Huber. She won't get there in time. And the Knights back on the attack with Jane Peterson. Good play by Ramos to find Locklear, who is able to clear things towards midfield, bouncing off of a Knight defender, and Salem will throw in again.
Salem working their way upfield. I could take a little opportunity to thank the Knights Athletic Department, or the Knights Athletic Department would like to thank their sponsors for their continued support of Knight Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws Drinks and Eat. Come to Straws you know, every Friday night they usually have something, like a trivia night or something, bingo. Knights in the box, almost about a score. The Knights Athletic Department would also like to thank Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve Sweet Souvenirs, and Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express. If you would like to partner with Knight Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894.
Knights are going to make a couple more substitutions before the end of the half. Just under 12 minutes remaining in the first half of play. This is Jane Peterson turning with it on the far side. She'll cross back into the middle for Tessa Miller. Bounces off of her hip. Tempting clear, but McKeon strikes it towards the goal. A save by Sanchez.
Just a little off. McKeon with the shot off. Almost like a diving kick, it looked like.
Really good aggressive strike by Audrey McKeon. Forces a corner as it bounced off the hands of Sanchez, who made a good save. This is Claire Stevens on the corner again. She lofts that one into the box. It goes. McKeon contact with it. Good save on the post. I think that was Layla Locklear who made the save. So good job by McKeon to win the battle in the middle of the box and get ahead on that one, but a better save by Layla Locklear. That was Gracie Duncan who fell when she received the ball, and it's rejected back into the midfield area by Salem, but this is Stevens and Solis. They'll play catch.
You know, the Knights have had a few opportunities to have corner kicks, but Salem College is doing a great job of kind of defending all of them. The Knights haven't been able to score on any of them yet. You know, right there's a perfect explanation. Layla Locklear being exactly where she needs to be.
This is Duncan with it, striking it towards the goal. That's blocked by Powell. Cleared out. Morgan Romney getting to it and smartly clearing it as she felt the pressure from the speedy Darla Nieto. That'll be a throw-in for Salem. Just under 10 minutes now remaining in the first half of play. This is Huffman's going to throw it in for the Spirits. Nieto will just clear that one into the middle of the field. Good box out by Huber. Ref says play on. And that is cleared to the sidelines by Powell, and the ref will say it last went off. I think Tessa Miller that was.
So we have number 10 Morgan Romney in the game now, as well as number 8 Macy Rackham. Good to see Rackham out there. She's been kind of dealing with an injury for the last part of the season.
Good defensive play by Nieto, forces a turnover. She got fouled by Claire Stevens of the Knights. And Serenity Powell will set up for a free kick at the midfield line. So as the half has gone on, Tyler, what have you seen from maybe an attack brewing for the Spirits offense?
You know, these final minutes of the first half, you know, it's really important for this Spirit team to kind of make a statement offensively. You know, they need to find that equalizer, and they've had some good teamwork, you know, trying to move the ball downfield. Looks like the Knights are going to kind of come back with this one and apply the pressure again to Salem College.
Good clearance by Ramos to get out of harm's way. Ella Thomas now applying pressure. And Claire Stevens, number 6, will try to clear that back into the box until Audrey McKeon's able to reject that clearance. Lots of good offensive pressure, but it goes just past Macy Rackham out of bounds, and Salem will stave off that attack. So Tyler, as you were saying, if Salem, if they can get to the halftime down just 1-0, that's got to be a good sign for them, because their offense has been able to develop something in the latter stages of this first half, as they're going to attempt to clear back towards midfield. That's rejected again by Annalise Huber, and her pass goes just past Audrey McKeon out of bounds, and Salem will throw in.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, you know, the Knights kind of had all the momentum in their favor, but, you know, as the half comes to an end, we see that Salem College is having a lot more opportunity to go across the field and have their own offensive opportunities. And so that's a good thing to keep in mind as you head towards the second half. You know, you're only down by 1. Just keep your focus to getting to the other side of the field and creating those scoring opportunities for your offense, because you only need one to equal this game out. And the defense so far has been holding up pretty nicely. So you can go into the second half kind of with that focus.
Now it was Berazida getting to that one and clearing it out of bounds. And they're going to make a substitution. That's Ella Thomas, I think, coming out. She played the entirety of the first half until now. One of the only holdovers from that starting lineup that Rob Dawson out. This one's cleared into the box. Tessa Miller in the area. But looked like that was Huffman able to get a piece of that. Good move by Stevens. In the middle it goes. She gets it back into the box. And that was Macy Rackham making a run out of it. Lots of contact with the defender. And I think they're going to get Macy for a foul on that one, which will set up a free kick. Macy, one of the leading attackers for this night's offense. Brings a lot of energy and skill to the squad.
Yeah, Macy Rackham, she's only a freshman. And as I mentioned earlier, she kind of been sitting out the last few games because of an injury, but when she was in the lineup for the Knights, she was one of the leading scorers. So she is an intricate part of this offense as well. A lot of depth on this team, as we've been saying.
That attempted cross from the Knights goes out of bounds. Sanchez will get set to kick off for the final 5 minutes of play in the first half. Again, Knights lead 1-0 off of a beautiful strike by McKenna Winterton about halfway through the first half of play. And Knights have, for the most part, dominated possessions, but Salem has been able to generate a little bit offensively in the last 10 or 15 minutes of play as Audrey McKeon trying to lead her teammate, but it's going to go out of bounds. And another goal kick for Maria Sanchez.
Almost at the 4-minute mark here in the first half. Score still 1-0.
Good trap by Audrey McKeon to set up this next Knights attack. Backheel by Gracie Duncan looking for Macy Rackham. She'll reset, but they're going to send it back into the box. And it goes past everybody for another goal kick.
Looked like she was looking for number 21, Tessa Miller there to set her up for the goal. That's going to result in a goal kick for the Spirits.
Far side it goes for Locklear, but the ref is going to call that one out of bounds as the flag goes up and the Knights will throw in again. This is Audrey McKeon to take it. As Tyler said, McKeon leading the team in assists this year. It's on the near side now for Tessa Miller. Lots of room now for Madison Solis. Into the middle it goes. Duncan's bid is rejected by Isabel Scott. And now Nieto racing after it. Boxed out a little bit by, I think that was Morgan Romney. As she goes down, play on, the ref says. Annalise Huber now. Keeping it in is Tessa Miller, but no, the ref will see. Out of bounds again. Right along the line it went. And Salem will throw in.
It's going to bring the ball up towards Southern Virginia side of the field a little bit. The Spirit try to set up some sort of game plan to kind of get down the field to score a goal.
This one's going to be turned over again. Now Gracie Duncan with it. Subbed in midway through the first half. They're going to set up Nieto. Challenged by Annalise Huber. Good play by her to get it around Nieto. And back on the attack go the Knights. This one's going to be a little bit too far in front of Jane Peterson. As we now approach under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Knights still lead 1-0. like that was Ramos turning with it.
The Knights just trying to kick that ball out, trying to keep Salem from getting any opportunity to kind of score in the last few minutes of this half. 1:39 or 1:36 left on the clock.
That throw is going to be rejected by the Knight defenders. Macy Rackham picks it up. Lots of speed and skill with her. She's going to try and take the angle. She has some space. Towards the goal it goes. Good save by Sanchez.
Sanchez right there, kind of bounces off her hands a little bit, but she's able to grab it again.
This one bounces over the Knight defender. Nieto again applying pressure to Annalise Huber. Those two have been duking it out for the last few minutes. Knights are going to try and clear this one out before the end of the half. Just 45 seconds remaining. And Macy Rackham's going to run after this one. Far side she goes. Looked like she tried to cut back towards the middle. Down goes the Salem defender. And Macy Rackham's going to get called for the penalty on that one. Annalise Huber's going to clear that one out of harm's way back into the Spirit side of the field. Lots of space with just 10 seconds. That was Rackham looking for Tessa Miller. Bounces out of bounds. And that will wrap things up for the first half of play in the first round of the USA South Conference Tournament. Knights lead at 1-0 off of a strike from McKenna Winterton in the first half. Just exactly what Coach Rob Dahl wanted, a quick start to get the Knights settled in. And Tyler, as we head into halftime, what do you think these two teams learned of each other, and what do you think both of them can bring back for the second half of play?
You know, the Knights, they're doing a pretty good job offensively. They have 19 shots right now. But, you know, despite the Knights seem to be able to keep the ball in the Spirit side of the field, Salem's doing a really good job of, you know, playing defense, not letting them make the most of those opportunities. They've only let one goal slide. And towards the end of the game, you know, we kind of saw that time of possession was kind of equaling out. Salem was having more opportunity to drive downfield and kind of open up their offense to potentially score on the Knights. But, you know, this game seems pretty close right now. Like I said, it was only down by 1. So if you're the Knights, you just want to keep on playing that pressure. You might be up right now, but it's only by 1. So looking for, you know, more opportunities to score to kind of bolster that lead. Last time these teams played was 5-0, so Salem doing a good job defensively. And, you know, like we said, their offense is picking up, so they need to carry this momentum into the second half.
So we'll be back in just under 15 minutes for the second half of play. Please make sure to join us for that second half for more exciting USA South Conference Tournament Women's Soccer.
The game today is simple. Both contestants will have 2 chances to kick a soccer ball onto the Knight logo in the middle of the field from the 20-yard line. The player with the best kicks will be our winner. Are you ready? Congratulations to our winner! Thank you both for participating. We will begin the second half of our soccer match shortly, so stick around.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of play here at Knight Stadium between your Southern Virginia University Knights and the Salem College Spirits. Knights heading into the second half with the 1-0 lead off of a McKenna-Winterton strike. And the Knights will get things going with possession here in the second half of play. Knights back to their original starting lineup for the start of the second half, as Winterton's going to look for Mabel Harris on the near side. She's going to pull up and survey the field. Ops back for Ella Thomas, chipping it back into the middle, but rejected by Salem. Salem's Maria Sanchez, who is in the net. 5 saves on the evening. She's had a stellar night, and she's not going to have to get her hands to that one. That was a drive by Ellie Owen. So far, Darla Nieto, the only one able to get a shot towards the net for Salem. McKenna-Winterton leads the Knights with 4 shots. And also Mabel Harris, Natalie Blazer, and Audrey McKeon chipping in with 3 shots of their own. Mabel Harris avoids a check there and clears it back to the near side, where Salem will let that one roll out of bounds so they can throw in.
Knights already going back to applying that pressure on Salem. Picking up where they left off.
This is Paige Varvarigos looking towards the middle, just past Matia Murray, and out of bounds for a goal kick for Sanchez. Coach of the Spirits, Robin Ramirez, mentioned that they need a lot of movement to take place to free up their attackers, such as Darla Nieto and Gisele Ramos, their 2 leading scorers. Nieto, of course, with 16 on the year. Ramos chipping in with 2. But so far, the Knights have been able to pin Salem into their own end for the first 2 minutes and change of this half. Winterton's going to get to that one and get it back from Harris. In the middle of the box it goes, just outside the box, rather. Harris looking for Winterton again in the middle.
Number 17.
Into the middle it goes. Strike just to the outside of the post. As that was Natalie Blazer looking for some open areas in the net. Sanchez again opts to go short with that goal kick. And Knights back in control with Ella Thomas. She's going to get it back from Harris. Back in the middle of the field it goes. Locklear's going to get to this one. It's going to bounce back towards Huber. She overplayed it. Nieto on the attack. Their leading attacker. Lots of speed. Gardner's going to come out and grab it just in time. As Nieto, you can see she's upset with herself. She had to step on both defenders, Haley Gadd and Annalise Huber. So a smart play by the Knights keeper to come out and grab that one before Nieto got even more space.
Yeah, great play by Nieto. She just put it a little bit too far ahead of her, and Katrina Gardner in goal was able just to come up and grab it before Nieto could make any move on it.
It's cleared back over towards Claire Stevens. Just to keep it on the far side for Matia Murray. Looking across from Mabel Harris, just past her. Out of bounds, that will turn into a goal kick for Maria Sanchez. So a good early opportunity by Nieto. Almost able to capitalize on an error made by Annalise Huber as she overplayed that clearance towards the middle of the field. As they have Nieto playing way back, almost into the Knights' defensive territory, looking for any outlet passes that she can convert on. The Knights back on the attack. That's Murray leading Claire Stevens on the far side. So quickly try to clear it back towards the middle. But that's disrupted by the defenders of Salem, and Stevens will throw in again. Salem back on the attack, but a good play to step up by Ellie Owen. But Scott able to take control when Huber rejects that one back into the territory of the Spirits. That was Giselle Ramos. She's going to get it back, make her way around Natalie Blazer, and switch sides of the field.
Salem doing a good job of kind of passing back and forth to teammates, trying to open up. Looks like they're trying to get Nieto open so she can make a play on the goal.
Through ball, that was Ellie Owen looking for Matia Murray. It's slowed down by Blazer, and Stevens is going to clear it back towards the middle, looking for Harris, but it's a little bit short for her. Good play by Owen to step up from her defensive position. Knights looking to counter here, but then a clear again by Salem back towards the direction of Nieto. She's going to try and get around Haley Gadd. She will. Along the sideline it goes, but just too far in front of her. And Annalise Huber able to clean things up and reset for Katrina Gardner, her keeper. Taylor Gable able to get to that, but it goes out of bounds off of her. Stevens will throw in. They'll go short to Matia Murray, just past the outstretched leg of Winterton. Huber's just going to whack that one back towards Maribeth Huffman. Blazer in pursuit, though. Good play by Natalie Blazer. Free up some space. She's going to lose her footing, though, out of bounds. And a goal kick for Salem. And again, interesting, Tyler, that they opt to go short. Obviously, Salem is going to have to go on the offensive here at some point as they're down by 1. But you think they want to get it out to Nieto as quickly as possible, but still opt to go short on those goal kicks.
Yeah, you know, they're playing a lot of defensive heavy, keeping a lot of players in the back. They don't want to let this game get away because they know the power that Southern Virginia has on the offensive side. But at some point, you're going to have to bring some players out other than Nieto. Nieto's made some great plays. She's really good at getting around defenders. She's basically double covered, but she's able to maneuver around them, create open space. But at some point, we need to move some players up to kind of help support that.
Winterton drives her way through 2 defenders, able to get it to Murray. Mattia Murray's going to lead. Claire Stevens going to look to find a cross. She's encountered by 2 Spirit defenders. Into the middle it goes, where Natalie Blazer picks it up. Cut back by Blazer. Nice move to get around the defender, still with it. Looking for Winterton. Drives towards the goal, just to the right of the post, out of bounds.
Winterton was in a lot of traffic there, a lot of blue jerseys around her. Tough angle to kick at with all those people.
Salem has been able to pack the middle pretty well to prevent those open looks in the middle of the field from strikers like Winterton and Blazer. Huber's going to steal that one from Nieto. Salem back in control, though. They're going to switch fields a little bit too far for Locklear and Mabel Harris. Going to opt to go quickly. Looking for Ella Thomas, but she'll opt back and slow things down. Looks like we have our first sub of the half. Natalie Blazer coming out. I'm not sure if that's coming in, if you can spot the number, Tyler.
Looks like that's number 13, Emmy Giles, coming in. She's going to cut back and get the ball from Ella Thomas.
That one just barely goes out of bounds before Thomas could get to it. Emmy Giles, who just subbed in, a one-time recipient of Rookie of the Year in the conference a few weeks ago, as Thomas deflects that one back out of bounds.
Emmy Giles, a freshman from Rigby, Idaho, has 3 goals on the season.
Salem with it. Locklear's going to let that one go for her teammate. Salem still with it. Good ball control by these midfielders, but Ellie Owens going to get it back for the Knights. And find Emmy Giles, just subbed in, looking for Winterton. Lots of speed on the near side. Going to bounce it off the defender's face. Let's hope she's okay as she goes down, as Winterton attempted to cross that one back towards the middle. And they're going to call for the athletic trainers to come on, check out the Salem defender. I couldn't quite see who it was that was defending Winterton at the time of the cross. His head athletic trainer for the Knights, Chad Mahaffey, comes out to check on her. I hope she's okay. Just over 10 minutes gone here in the second half of play. Again, Knights have been able to really dominate possession of the ball in Salem's defensive territory. And it looks like she is up and okay, heading back to the bench under her own power.
Number 6, Isabel Scott, senior defender from Jacksonville, Florida.
And certainly the trainers will be cautious with her and make sure she's ready to go if she were to come back in the game, but she looks to be doing well as of right now. And with that created a corner for the Knights. This is Ella Thomas who's getting set. 4th corner on the day for Southern Virginia.
SVU hasn't been able to score any of these opportunities yet. Let's see if the defense will be able to hold them up again.
And you can see Salem really loading the middle of that box. It's not going to be easy for any Knight attackers to find some space. Here comes the feed from Thomas. Into it goes. Contact by Winterton. Still up for grabs, and it's cleared out by Salem. Huber's going to quickly get to it and try to counter again. She sets up Thomas, but a good play by Nieto to disrupt that attack, as Ella Thomas is forced to just send that one out of bounds, and a goal kick for Maria Sanchez. So again, Salem really able to clog up the middle in those crosses, those corners and free kicks, not giving the Knight attackers any room to maneuver through them. As Salem continues to hang around in this one, just down 1-0. But the Knights will continue to mount pressure offensively. This is Thomas looking for Mabel Harris. It goes just past her. Sanchez thought she had to come out, but instead stays in the goal. Another steal by Mabel Harris, just past Emmy Giles, and Salem will clear. That was Solorzano giving chase to Annalise Huber, but Haley Gadd now with it, steaming her way through the defensive zone. She's going to give that one up. Good play, though, by Haley Gadd to steal it back. She's going to set up Emmy Giles. She'll switch fields for Mattia Murray, and she'll get to it before it rolls out of bounds. Stevens across back to the side of Mabel Harris. She'll send one towards the goal, easily scooped up by Sanchez, who will slow things down. For maybe the first time this game, Sanchez opts to go clear down the field towards the logo, but the Knights are going to steal it back. Murray's going to look for Emmy Giles. It's going to go off of Powell, and that will be a corner off of the sophomore defender, Serenity Powell. So the 5th corner on the day for Southern Virginia. And as Tyler mentioned previously, not able to convert much at all. Not too many chances as a result of these corners, and they'll try to convert on this one.
Salem stacking the box again. Don't want to give the Knights an opportunity to get a quick goal.
Stevens way up high it goes. Bounces back out to Ellie Owen. She'll send one towards the goal. Bounces off of Powell. Gives Salem an opportunity to clear, but a good play by Stevens to step up and steal it. She'll strike it towards the goal just high, and that'll result in a goal kick. Got a couple of subs coming in for the Knights as well as Salem. Looks like that's Solorzano coming back out. And I think that's number
6, Isabel Scott, who went to the sideline a little bit ago after getting hit pretty hard by the ball.
Good to see her back on the field looking well. She took that clearance to the head from McKenna Winterton. Was down briefly, but popped back up under her own power, and thankfully is good to go for the rest of this one.
Audrey McKeon, number 22 for Southern Virginia, is back on the field as well.
Coach Rob Dahl again trying to keep those legs fresh to keep this offensive pressure going. Audrey McKeon, 3 shots in the first half. Had maybe the best opportunity to score outside the lone goal by McKenna Winterton as she struck one from the top of the box that Sanchez was just barely able to get a hand on. Locklear's going to bounce that one off of McKeon out of bounds where Salem can throw in with Ramos. Just over 15 minutes gone in the second half. Good play by Harris to sidestep the defender. She'll send it towards the goal. Scores Mabel Harris.
Great kick by Harris there. She's able to lift it over 2 defenders, and it goes right over the fingertips of the goalie, just right over the crossbar. Perfect placement there for Mabel Harris.
Beautiful move to steal it, then sidestep Isabel Scott. Lots of power on that strike from Harris, as Sanchez cannot get up and punch that out of harm's way. And it is 2-0 in favor of Southern Virginia. Just over 15 minutes gone in the second half.
Mabel Harris enters this matchup with 6 goals under her belt this season. Brings the total up to 7.
Harris certainly brings a lot of experience to this young Knights squad. You could say potentially that she's maybe the most well-rounded Knight of them all. The junior midfielder out of Highland, Utah, Lone Peak High School. Lots of velocity on that strike, and it is 2-0 Southern Virginia as they're going to look to apply pressure. Meanwhile, Salem's going to have to counter and start pressing players forward if they're going to make a run at this one. Certainly the offensive firepower is there with one of the best strikers in the conference in Darylyn Nieto, but they're going to have to start making something happen soon. As you mentioned it, Tyler, she's been double-teamed, even triple-teamed sometimes in the backfield by the stellar SVU back line. And we'll see what kind of adjustments head coach Robin Ramirez makes in the last half hour of this one.
Layla Locklear. Almost the opportunity to kind of open things up. The Knights able to steal it back.
Harris, the goal scorer, nice move to get around the defender. She can opt back towards the middle for McKenna Winterton, who leads Claire Stevens. She'll cross it back, looking for Harris, just past her outstretched leg. And that'll roll out of bounds for a goal kick.
Really close there. Salem able to catch a break there.
Another steal by Harris. She gets upended, but Amy Giles back on the attack. She turns, looks in the middle. Nice clearance made there by Salem. That was number 33, Marissa Dutrich, in the area, who has subbed in recently. That could have been Serenity Powell, my mistake. Crossing it over is Ella Thomas, just past a couple of bodies. As it looked like no one touched it, so it'll be a throw-in for Salem on the far side, top right of your screen. This is Ella Thomas now on the near side, looking for Mabel Harris. Through ball into the box it goes, but nicely grabbed by Maria Sanchez. So look to speed things up going the other way. That one goes right to Audrey McKeon, who rejects that towards Sanchez, and she will grab it once again. Berzida tries to trap it, but it's a turnover for Salem again. Harris going back to the middle. Good feed for Winterton. She strikes towards the goal. Good save. Rebound up for grabs, and it rolls in. I couldn't quite tell who that was in the vicinity, but the rebound off of the Winterton strike turns into a 3-0 lead for Southern Virginia. Could have been Bailey Ricker in the area, who was just subbed in recently.
It looked like it was either Audrey McKeon or number 6, Claire Stevens, who had the goal.
And they do confirm it was Bailey Ricker on the PA. Just subbed in, the freshman from Houston, Texas, out of Kingwood Park High School. She positioned herself perfectly to extend the lead to 3-0.
Sanchez, the goalie in goal for Salem, was down after keeping out another shot on goal, but the Knights were able just to recover it really fast and take that other shot.
It's Jane Peterson sending it into the middle, but that pass is disrupted by Salem. They're going to look for Nieto, but it can't get by the stellar defensive play of Annalise Huber, who will chip it back towards Jane Peterson. She gets a return from Giles. And then that cross is deflected back out of bounds. Another corner as Ella Thomas will come up and take this one again.
The Knights offense now keeping Salem's defense on their toes, it seems like. Should be a lot more fast-paced right now as they set up for this corner. Salem stacking the box as usual.
Into the box it goes, looking for someone. It's Winterton with contact, and that's rejected by Salem. Pops all the way back out to Ella Thomas on the near side. Huber takes a whack at it. Now Giles. Off the post it goes.
McKeon with that shot.
Couldn't quite tell if the flag went up as well. Could have been offsides anyways. But either way, it stays out of the net, and Sanchez will kick this one off.
Looks like it was meant to go to number 12. Bailey Ricker, but flies past her, but McKeon's there to take the shot.
This is a Locklear of Salem keeping it at bounds. That clearance gets blocked by Peterson all over Giselle Ramos. She's going to steal it back, then contact from Locklear. The ref says play on.
Looks like they would call that.
As under 25 minutes now remain in regulation. Knights have exploded offensively for a couple of goals in the last few minutes. Goals from Mabel Harris and now Bailey Ricker. Flag does go up that time for offside, and Salem will get a free kick. So that is the second goal on the season for Bailey Ricker, of course. Her first in postseason play. Audrey McKeon gets a chest to that one to knock it down. Amy Giles on the attack. She'll clear it into the box. It goes. Good disruption by the tandem of Ricker and McKeon. It's cleared out of bounds by Salem as there's another substitution coming in for the Knights. Looks like that's Winterton coming off. Very well could be maybe the last we see of her, as certainly Coach Rob Dahl wants to get legs fresh for a potential semifinal matchup on Thursday.
Gracie Duncan, number 20 now in the game for the Knights.
That one goes through the legs of Duncan. Salem will try to again clear it out towards Nieto, as this back line from Southern Virginia just really hasn't been letting anything get through in the last 10-15 minutes. This one does eventually go out of bounds. A goal kick for Sanchez, who really has been playing stellar this game. Tough goal to give up from Mabel Harris, as she could not reach it. It was a very high shot. Maybe didn't expect it to make it all the way through. But then a good stop on Winterton. That the rebound just popped right out to an open Bailey Ricker. Good hustle by Emmy Giles to get after this one before it goes out of bounds. Knights will throw in. Pressure being applied by Locklear. And this one's bounced back towards Sanchez by Gracie Duncan, out of bounds. Pressure being applied by Bailey Ricker. She loses her footing right in front of the Southern Virginia bench. It goes out of bounds, last off Salem. This is Ricker with it, trying to find some space, but it's rejected by Serenity Powell. So again, lots of offensive pressure and possession time for Southern Virginia. especially in this half. It seemed like in the first half it was the same story, but in the last 10-15 minutes, Salem was able to apply a little bit more pressure in the neutral zone and get some offensive opportunities of their own. So let's see if that becomes a common theme in this one. This is Jane Peterson taking a shot towards the goal to flex off of Serenity Powell. And Ricker lets that one roll out of bounds, a corner for Southern Virginia.
Jane Pearson, pretty much open lane towards the goal. Must not have had her foot on it. Just opposite pass to her teammates. Sets up for the corner, though.
2 more subs for the Knights. That is Paige Varvarigos and I believe Natalie Blazer coming back in for the Knights. Got Bailey Ricker along the goal line, and this one's lofted into the box. Contact right at the posts. And Ricker, I'm not sure if there, it looked like the flag did stay down, but Ricker looked a fan on that one and could not get it past Sanchez. So the Spirits able to stave that one off. Still 20 minutes to go, so if they can get some sort of offensive zone time and hopefully set up one of their premier strikers, they can get back in this one.
Knights not letting that happen. They're pulling everyone to Salem's side of the field. Keep this momentum going.
That one rolls out of bounds. Another goal kick in place for Maria Sanchez.
Sanchez setting up this goal kick.
And it looks like Macy Rackham now coming in for number 14, Jane Peterson. And straight away, Rackham goes towards the ball on the near side. Locklear one-toucher, but no teammates in the area, and SVU picks things right back up. It's a good read that time by Taylor Gable, but cannot get there in time. It doesn't touch her, though, so that's a throw-in for Salem, as they're going to start having to press forward soon if they're going to make a run at coming back in this one. Flag goes up, out of bounds it was. They played on for a few seconds, didn't hear the whistle, I guess, or the didn't see the flag there. And Salem will throw in yet again. And again, the winner of this matchup, the 1-8 matchup, will go on to face the winner of the 4 and 5 matchup. That is Greensboro College, the 4 seed, and William Peace, the 5 seed. And that matchup will be on Thursday evening. Far side, this is Bailey Ricker, the most previous goal scorer. That one's broken up by Taylor Gable. Good defense by her. Gable, a promising freshman for this group. This one's cleared into the box. It goes. Pressure applied. That was Ricker in the vicinity, and Sanchez goes out to grab it. Lots of open field for Salem to counter. There's Nieto calling for it. He looks for a through ball, but a good play by Haley Gadd to disrupt that one.
Salem eager to get the ball back, try to cap off on this play that they just had, try to bring the ball back down the field.
So this is Macy Rackham off a feed from Thomas. She'll turn and opt back for Thomas again, who clears it. Far side looking for Ricker, deflects off a defender. I think that was either Powell or Huffman. And Sanchez dived to prevent anything getting through her, but it did go wide. More substitutions for the Knights. That's Winterton coming back in, as well as Mabel Harris. So Coach Rob Dahl not willing to lay down this yet. They want to ensure this victory as they lead it 3-0. High up into the box it goes, just outside the net. Winterton motioned for a corner, but the line judge will motion for a goal kick instead.
A lot of bodies in the goal that time. Could have gone either way.
Duncan's going to reject that one back towards Winterton. She couldn't find it for just a split second. Now Locklear back on it, being guarded by Harris. Huber smartly doing whatever she can to keep it away from the speedy Nieto. They certainly don't want to let her get loose at this point in the game. Winterton gets it back. Looking for Macy Rackham. She didn't see it coming, though, and back the other way we go. This one's cleared out. Salem will get to it in time. And a good defensive play. I think that was Paige Barbarigos to send it back out and waste a little bit more time. Flag goes up. Looks like there might have been a violation on the throw-in. And so Southern Virginia will take possession. Or possibly a penalty. It'll be a free kick. Or no, now it will be a throw-in. So the official corrects. I think that's Tessa Miller on the far side for the Knights. And Claire Stevens comes in for 21, Tessa Miller. And as well as Matia Murray and a couple of others. So the Knights almost with that starting group back in there. Is Winterton back on the attack, looking for her second on the night. She'll opt back for Harris, who chips it towards the goal, looking for either Rackham or Winterton to make a run out of it. But none doing, and Sanchez will kick off again.
Harris seemed a little off balance on that kick, kind of spinning around. This sets up a good opportunity for Salem to kind of make their move. I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors again. The Knights Athletic Department would like to thank the following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straw's Drink and Eats, Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs, Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated, Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, Sweet Souvenirs, and Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express. If you'd like to partner with Knight Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894.
That Winterton drive goes just over the crossbar out of bound, where now Sanchez will get things going again. Just over 12 minutes remaining in the second half of play. If you are just joining us, Southern Virginia leads 3-0 over the Salem College Spirits. Both teams headed into the half, with Southern Virginia leading 1-0 at that point off of a goal from McKenna Winterton. But Mabel Harris and Bailey Ricker have added to that tally to make it 3-0. Salem trying to claw their way back into this one. A couple of good opportunities offensively for them. Or from Darlyn Nieto. She does have a shot taken in this one. But in the last 10 or 15 minutes, the Knights have really stymied her on the defensive end. This one's going to roll past Annalise Huber, where Katrina Gardner will take her time and settle things down.
Looks like Gable's trying to look for number 11, Nieto, but she had a lot of Knights on her. She was a little off target with that hit.
Gardner waits for Nieto to be just a few yards off before she picks it up, and she'll boot this one back right onto the Knights logo, where Serenity Powell will reject that one, but back in control is Ellie Owen of the Knights. Winterton and Rackham a give and go. Again, back to Rackham, looking for some space. Cross into Winterton, just past the post.
Nice cross by Rackham there to Winterton. But there was a defender right there for Salem to kind of disrupt that. Looks like that's number 18. Or not number 18, number 16, Maribeth Huffman.
So again, some pretty good defensive play tonight by Salem, but the Knights have been able to convert when needed. Some really well-placed shots that found the back of the net from Winterton and Harris. And then Bailey Ricker, great positioning by her to get the rebound off of a great save by Maria Sanchez and put it in herself to make it 3-0. Good clean passes by Southern Virginia. This is Mabel Harris now on the near side. Cross this one into the box. Salem looking for a handball. Blazer with it, and they will be called for that one. Salem takes control.
Isabel Scott with this kick. She's just gonna tap it off there.
That was Giselle Ramos, but she turns it over to the Knights again. That's Mattia Murray setting up McKenna Winterton, and now Mabel Harris again near side. Ops back to Winterton to free up some space on the inside. She'll send it towards the goal just left of the post again. You could tell she wanted that one. Looking for her second on the evening.
Number 28, Annalise Huber coming off the field. Looks like number 29 is going to come in for her place. Maddie Staples. Fans getting pretty excited as we have 8.5 minutes left on the clock.
That one's thrown in towards Winterton. Paige Varvarigo switch sides of the field to Murray. It's Mabel Harris, the through ball, looking for Ellie Owen, just past her though, out of bounds. Where Sanchez can get things going again for her team. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Salem running out of time for a comeback here. Knights lead at 3-0 still, as they've really dominated possession time and peppered Maria Sanchez with lots of shots. Sanchez really has stood on her head for the most of this one. Owen gathers and turns to buy some time. Now Harris, she'll cross back into the box, but Sanchez is there again to scoop that one up. Nice turn by Stevens. On the far side it goes. I believe that's Tessa Miller back in the game. Looking for a give and go with Macy Rackham, but the pass is too far and out of bounds again for another goal kick.
Knights still not letting up on the attack. Don't want to give anything up.
Almost turnover again, as Tessa Miller almost got to that one, but it will be a Salem throw-in. And just to give you some brief updates around the league, Methodist was able to take down Mary Baldwin. That was the number 2 and 7 seed matchup. Methodist took that one with a commanding score of 5-0. Still waiting for updates on the other 2 games around the league. That was, of course, we mentioned the 4 and 5 matchup, William Peace and Greensboro, and then there was Brevard and Meredith, who were deadlocked at 0 into extra time. As Darylyn Nieto gets to this one, looking for some space. Good defensive play there that time by number 34, Sydney Bastian. As this half, Nieto not able to get speed. This is Rackham in on the keeper, just over the crossbar.
Dangerous decision by Sanchez to come out of the goal to try to block that kick. Lucky for her, Macy Rackham just puts too much power on that one.
So a good challenge to force Rackham over the top. As again, Southern Virginia with quite a few substitution. Just under 5 to go in regulation. See Jane Peterson back in for the Knights, taking the spot of Mabel Harris, who has done her job tonight, scoring the 2nd goal of the game for Southern Virginia. This is Nieto back with lots of speed. Again, a good play by Bastian. She's going to get it back. Tripped up on the play. That will be a penalty and a free kick for the Knights. So good job by Sydney Bastian to first prevent the most dangerous girl on the field, possibly, Darylyn Nieto, from getting any room, then forcing a penalty herself.
Looks like Katrina Garner is going to come out of the goal to take this free kick for the Knights right here.
This one's lofted way into the Salem side of the field. They'll get to it, though. This is Layla Locklear with it. Salem now on the attack. A good defensive play there by Elliot Owen to give the Knights a chance to clear. This is Jane Peterson now. Rackham looking for a through ball. A good disruption there by Giselle Ramos. But the Knights just very relentless with their offensive pressure. Winterton finds Rackham on the through ball, crossing into the middle, but that's deflected out of bounds. A corner will come of it for the Knights.
Just under 3 minutes here in the final half. Setting up corner hit number 9.
Looks like that's Ella Thomas again getting set, as Coach Dahl really showing off the depth that this squad has, going deep into the bench. A lot of quality players on this young roster, as that really has been a supreme advantage for Southern Virginia, that even Coach Dahl pointed out before this matchup. Obviously, Salem only able to go 1 or 2 deep into the bench, which really limits their options on the offensive side of things. This is Ella Thomas again getting set. Low into the top of the box. That's deflected out by Salem. That was Sky Sykes getting to it. And the flag goes up on Jane Peterson, I think that was, for offside. Knights have truly been on a mission this season. As mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they took the runner-up spot last year against reigning champion Methodist. Of course, the winner of the conference tournament goes on to play in the NCAA tournament. And Southern Virginia, only conceding 1 goal in the process, has gone 9-0 in conference play during the regular season, and can have continued that trend here in the quarterfinal. Making a run towards the goal, and Sanchez smartly comes out to play it. Knights trying to add to the lead, make it 4-0 in the final 2 minutes. This is Peterson setting up McKeon. And now Peterson for Amy Giles, crossing, oh, just past the left post. As Giles tried to get on the score sheet herself, almost did, as it went over the outstretched arm of Sanchez, but out of bounds, a goal kick for her.
Just over a minute left in the game. The Knights still not taking their foot off the gas. Giles with the ball again.
Salem trying to mount one last attack. It goes just past Nieto. She's on it. Haley Gadd will get to it first, though, as we now have hit the 1 minute mark remaining in regulation here at Knight Stadium. Southern Virginia leading it 3-0. Jane Peterson will make one last run at it. Into the box it goes, deflects off of McKeon and Amy Giles. Until that shot by, I think, Morgan Romney will go off the side of the net. And Maria Sanchez will take this goal kick.
Clock winding down.
Fly right past Claire Stevens. Salem will throw in. Final 10 seconds. They'll try to mount something. They're going to look for Nieto. 50 yards outside the goal. Broken up by Sydney Bastion. And just like that, the Knights will take the opening round of the USA South tournament 3-0 against number 8 seed Salem. Goals from McKenna Winterton in the first half, and then Mabel Harris and Bailey Ricker both getting on the score sheet to make it 3-0, as the Knights really seem to dominate possession, especially in the attacking zone. What are your final thoughts on this one, Tyler, as we head into now the second round on Thursday?
You know, that was kind of Coach Dahl's game plan from the very beginning. You know, just score fast and apply pressure, keep applying pressure. You know, like you were saying, the Knights had possession. It seemed like the entire game that they were playing on their side or the other side of the field. They took a lot of shots on goal, and you know they were just at the right spot at the right time. Right now, as things look, William Peace currently leads Greensboro with about 40 minutes left to play in the half. So if things move on the way to go, they'll face off William Peace in their next game. But you know, dominant performance by Southern Virginia. You know, we saw some great plays by Salem College as well. But overall, you know, Coach Dahl had his game plan and they stuck to it, and they were able to just smother the Spirits.
And also importantly, the Knights were able to keep the legs fresh in preparation for Thursday's matchup. And as Tyler mentioned, they will face the winner of the 4-5 matchup. That's Greensboro College and William Peace. We thank you for joining this edition of Knights Broadcasting, and we hope you will join us on Thursday for the semifinal matchup of the USA South Women's Conference Tournament. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment on how we can do better for this broadcast. But we hope you have a pleasant evening and a happy Halloween, and good night.